They sent the barren alien princess to a human as a joke, but she returned with a child. Best HFY, the twin suns of the desert world, hung low in the sky, casting long orange shadows across the jagged plains. Dust swirled around the feet of a young human warrior, Jace, as he rode his hoverbike through the rocky terrain. At only 19, Jace had the sharp eyes of a seasoned tracker and the courage of 100 men. His small group of frontier warriors followed behind him, wary and quiet. They had spent their lives on the edge of human settlements, protecting small outposts from alien raiders, rogue machines, and the harsh desert itself. The silence of the wasteland was shattered suddenly. A shadow fell over them, stretching across the dunes like a moving wall. Jace squinted and saw it first, a gigantic alien ship descending slowly from the sky. Its hull shimmered with a strange metallic light, unlike anything humans had ever seen. The air vibrated as the ship's thrusters kicked up red dust, and even the twin suns seemed to pale against the ship's glow. "By the gods," muttered old Marshal Rook, the grizzled leader of Jace's group. He had fought in countless battles, yet even he had never seen technology like this. This isn't a raid, this is something else. From the ship, a ramp extended down to the desert. A figure stepped forward, framed by a blinding light. The alien Princess Zephyra. She was taller than any human, with a presence that seemed to bend reality itself. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver, and her eyes glowed a cold violet. Her hair floated gently as if underwater, and the air around her rippled in response to her movements. She wore armor that gleamed like starlight, decorated with symbols humans could not begin to understand. The humans froze. Even the most battle-hardened soldiers instinctively reached for their weapons, but fear rooted them to the sand. Zephyra's gaze swept across the group, and then, without warning, she pointed directly at Jace. "He will be mine," she said, her voice clear yet strange, echoing in everyone's minds. Jace's stomach dropped. The words were alien, but somehow he understood them perfectly. It wasn't just a threat. It was a claim. Zephyra had singled him out. The wind kicked up around him as if the desert itself was acknowledging her command. "Marshal, what does she mean?" one of the younger warriors whispered. Rook's face was grim. "It means we are outmatched. Entirely. That princess doesn't ask, she commands." Zephyra's entourage appeared then. Alien soldiers, tall and lethal, stepped onto the sand. Their weapons glowed faintly, and they moved with unnatural precision. The humans realized there was no way they could fight them head-on. Every instinct screamed retreat, but the humans were trapped. Jace stepped forward, trying to keep his fear under control. "Wait. We don't know what she wants. Maybe," but Zephyra raised her hand, and the desert air rippled. A faint force field surrounded the human group, trapping them inside a circle of invisible energy. Dust swirled violently, throwing the humans off balance. "You will come with me willingly, young warrior, or face extinction," Zephyra said, her voice calm but final. Jace felt a pulse in his chest, faint but insistent. It was as if something inside him responded to her presence. He tried to shake it off, but the energy thrummed stronger, making his vision blur slightly. Rook noticed it too. "You feel it, don't you?" Rook muttered. "That's not just fear. She's doing something unnatural." Before anyone could react, Zephyra stepped closer. The sand beneath her seemed to glow with faint symbols, strange patterns that no human could decipher. She crouched slightly, looking directly at Jace with piercing eyes. "You are special," she said softly, almost as if speaking to herself. "I chose you for a reason." Jace swallowed hard. He had spent his entire life fighting for survival on the frontier, but he had never felt anything like this. The princess wasn't just powerful, she was something else entirely, and she had chosen him. Rook stepped forward, his hand hovering over his blaster. "Listen, kid, you're a good fighter, but this isn't about skill. She's not human. If she wants you, she'll take you. We can't stop her." The rest of the group murmured agreement, fear in their eyes. They had faced aliens before, but none had wielded power like Zephyra's. Even their most advanced weapons seemed useless against her energy shield. Zephyra tilted her head, examining Jace. "Do you understand what it means to be mine?" she asked. I don't know," Jace stammered, though inside a strange mix of fear and curiosity twisted in his chest. "Good," Zephyra said, straightening. "Fear is natural, obedience is expected." Without another word, she signaled to her soldiers. 2 of them stepped forward, energy restraints glowing in their hands. Jace's group instinctively tried to dodge, but the restraints moved faster than the eye could follow, wrapping around the humans and lifting them slightly off the ground. Jace struggled, but one of the restraints locked around him, and the pulse of energy he had felt earlier flared violently. Pain and warmth mixed in a strange way, and he nearly fell unconscious. Then, just as suddenly, the pulse stopped. Jace's body was still, but he felt different. Stronger somehow, but also connected to the alien princess in a way he could not explain. Zephyra's voice cut through the silence. "You will learn quickly, young warrior. Your life is no longer your own." Rook gritted his teeth. "We can't let her take him. There has to be a way." "Marshal," Jace interrupted weakly, Don't fight her. Not yet." His mind buzzed strangely, and he realized he could sense her emotions, her intentions. It was frightening, but also powerful. Zephyra lifted Jace slightly into the air using the pulse, her eyes locked on his. "We leave now. And you will obey me." The humans could do nothing as Jace was lifted onto a hovering platform attached to her ship. Dust and debris swirled violently as the craft began to ascend. From below, the soldiers shouted and fired blasters, but their weapons barely scratched the alien ship's hull. Inside the ship, gravity shifted unexpectedly. Jace stumbled as he landed on a smooth floor, looking around in awe. The interior was alive with strange lights and organic structures. Walls pulsed faintly, almost like breathing, and alien symbols glowed softly under his feet. The air smelled metallic, but not unpleasantly so. Zephyra approached, her expression unreadable. "Do not be afraid. You are not being punished. You are being chosen?" "Chosen for what?" Jace asked, voice steady despite the fear creeping into his chest. "To be part of something greater than either of our worlds," Zephyra said. "You have potential humans rarely have." "And I will mold it." Jace's mind raced. He had always dreamed of being a hero, of protecting his people, but this was beyond anything he could imagine. He was being taken from everything he knew to serve an alien princess whose intentions he did not fully understand. Rook's voice came faintly from the comlink, worry evident. "Jace, if you can hear me, stay alive. Figure this out." Jace nodded to himself. He didn't fully understand how he could survive, but he felt something awaken inside him, a courage that went beyond fear. He would need every ounce of it for what was coming next. Zephyra extended a hand, not threateningly, but expectantly. "Come, learn, grow. Your journey begins now." Jace took a deep breath, stepping forward. The ship hummed beneath his feet, energy flowing through it as if alive. The twin suns were far below now, mere specks of light. Ahead lay the unknown, alien technology, political intrigue, and a destiny he could never have imagined. And somewhere deep inside he felt a pulse again, a connection to the alien princess that was both frightening and exhilarating. The adventure had begun. The interior of Zephyra's ship was unlike anything Jace had ever imagined. Smooth, glowing walls curved organically, with faint pulses of light running through them, as if the ship itself were alive. The floor was firm, yet it seemed to hum slightly under his feet. Alien symbols glimmered softly, and the air smelled faintly metallic, but not unpleasantly so. Jace followed Zephyra cautiously, trying not to stumble as the gravity shifted subtly with every step. Her presence was overwhelming. Every movement she made seemed deliberate, elegant, and powerful. Though she had pointed him out as hers, there was no malice in her gaze, only focus, curiosity, and a strange intensity he couldn't quite describe. "You will address me as Princess Zephyra," she said, her voice calm yet firm. "Titles matter, even between species." "You are here to learn." "Learn what?" Jace asked, keeping his tone steady. He was terrified, but he refused to show it. Zephyra paused, tilting her head as if studying him. "You will learn control of yourself, your mind, and your body. The power you carry is not ordinary. You must master it or it will destroy you." Jace frowned. "What power?" Zephyra's hand brushed lightly over a panel on the wall, and a holographic projection sprang to life. Streams of energy and alien symbols danced in the air, forming shapes he couldn't understand. "This is your connection to me, to the ship, and to the technology of my people. Humans rarely survive it, but you have potential." Jace swallowed hard. The pulse he had felt when she first pointed at him surged again, stronger this time. His chest felt tight, his vision blurred briefly, and then the energy subsided. He shook his head. "I don't understand it," he admitted. "I don't know if I can control it." "You will," Zafira said simply, "or it will control you." Fear is natural, but hesitation is death. The princess led him to a room that seemed to float in zero gravity. The walls were translucent, showing stars and planets far below the desert world. At the center there was a glowing platform, faintly humming. "Step onto the platform," she commanded. Jace hesitated. The energy beneath it seemed to call to him, pulsing in sync with the strange rhythm in his chest. Taking a deep breath, he stepped forward. The platform's surface lit up instantly, and he felt a strange sensation in his body. It was like electricity, but warmer, flowing through his muscles and nerves. "Focus," Zafira instructed. "Do not resist. Let it flow through you." Jace clenched his fists. He could feel something awakening inside him. Strength he hadn't known he possessed, speed, and clarity of thought. But it was chaotic, like a wild storm inside his chest. His body jerked as the energy surged, and he nearly fell off the platform. "Calm yourself." Zafira's voice cut through the hum. Her eyes glowed faintly, and Jace realized she was guiding the energy remotely, helping him stabilize. Slowly, he drew in a deep breath and focused, letting the energy move naturally. When he opened his eyes, he felt different. Stronger. Faster. More aware. "You've done well for a beginner," Zafira said, her expression unreadable. "But this is only the start. You will need to master these abilities completely. Only then can you survive in the worlds beyond." Before Jace could ask another question, the ship's lights dimmed suddenly. Alarms blared as a holographic display flickered to life. A red warning symbol appeared, showing a fleet of alien ships approaching. "They are here," Zafira said calmly, without moving her lips. "A rival faction. They seek you." Jace's heart skipped a beat. "Me? Why me?" "Because you are unique," Zafira said simply. "And because they know the power you carry could change the balance between our worlds." Jace's mind raced. He had barely learned to control the energy within him, and now enemies were attacking. The ship vibrated as defensive systems activated automatically, shielding the vessel with an invisible barrier. Laser-like energy streaked past windows, illuminating the interior with flashes of red and blue light. Zafira gestured, and 2 alien soldiers appeared, each carrying weapons that glowed with strange energy. "Prepare yourself. I want to see what you can do." Jace's stomach twisted. He had always fought humans and rogue machines, but he had never faced beings like this. Still, instinct took over. He raised his hands, focusing on the pulse within him. The energy responded, forming a shield around him, crackling faintly with power. The first alien soldier lunged forward, but Jace moved faster than he could react. He dodged, felt the energy surge through his legs, and sent a wave of force that knocked the soldier back. Zafira observed silently, her eyes glowing brighter as if analyzing every move. "You are faster than most humans," she said. "But speed alone is not enough. You must learn precision, control, and strategy." The second soldier attacked differently, firing a weapon that sent pulses of light toward him. Jace concentrated, letting the energy flow to his arms, and deflected the blasts with a shimmering shield. The room vibrated with the intensity of the battle, and he realized he was learning instinctively, responding to threats with power he didn't fully understand. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the ship. One of the attacking alien vessels had breached the outer shields, sending energy surges through the corridors. Jace felt panic rising, but then he remembered Zephyr's instructions. Focus, control, flow with the energy. He calmed himself and redirected the energy, stabilizing the area. Zafira stepped closer. "Impressive. You are learning faster than I expected." "But I don't know if I can control it fully," Jace admitted. "It's like it has a mind of its own sometimes." "Then you must learn to trust it," Zafira said. "And trust yourself. Fear will destroy you faster than any enemy." The battle outside continued, with the rival alien ships attacking relentlessly. Jace could feel the tension in the ship's hull, the vibration of engines and energy flowing through the corridors. He glanced at Zafira and realized she wasn't just observing. She was guiding him, teaching him without touching him, using her connection to the ship and to him. Hours seemed to pass in a blur. Jace fought, trained, and learned all at once. He discovered new abilities, enhanced reflexes, the ability to manipulate the energy around him, and even glimpses of seeing events before they happened, just a few seconds ahead. Each success boosted his confidence. Each mistake reminded him of the danger he faced. Finally, the alarms ceased. The attacking ships had retreated and the ship was secure once more. Jace collapsed onto the glowing platform, exhausted but exhilarated. "You survived," Zafira said quietly. "And you have potential. But this is only the beginning. There are others like you, humans and hybrids alike, who will test your skills further. You must be ready for them." Jace nodded, though he was still catching his breath. I think I can do this. I have to." Zephyra's eyes softened faintly. "Remember this. Your strength comes not only from your abilities, but from your choices. Do not let anger, fear, or pride control you. Only then can you truly be ready for what is coming." As Jace lay on the platform staring at the glowing walls, he realized that the adventure was far from over. The human warriors who had tried to rescue him, the rival aliens, and the strange connection to Zephyra all formed a web of challenges he had yet to face. But for the first time in his life he felt capable. The twin suns shone faintly through the ship's windows, a reminder of the world he had left behind. He knew he couldn't return yet, not until he mastered the power within him and understood the intentions of the alien princess who had claimed him. And somewhere deep inside, he felt the pulse again, the strange rhythmic energy that tied him to Zephyra. It was frightening, powerful, and thrilling. The journey had only just begun. Below the desert world, the horizon burned with the last rays of the twin suns. The human outpost, battered and tense, stirred with activity. Old Marshal Rook paced along the ridge, scanning the sky with binoculars, his face set in grim determination. The alien ship that had taken Jace hovered high above, glimmering with energy shields and strange lights. It seemed untouchable. "We can't just wait here," one of the younger soldiers said nervously. "The princess, she's too powerful. She'll destroy us if we try to attack." Rook turned sharply. "And if we do nothing, she'll take him for good, and who knows what she'll do with him. This isn't just about one boy. It's about all of us. Humans survive by acting, not by hiding." The soldiers nodded grimly. They trusted Rook, and they trusted Jace, the youngest warrior who had already proven his courage countless times. Now it was up to them to risk everything to save him. High above, inside the alien ship, Jace paced the glowing platform. The pulse of energy inside him was stronger than ever, almost constant now, vibrating through every nerve in his body. The previous battle had shown him that he could fight alien soldiers, deflect energy blasts, and even move faster than they could see. Yet he knew he was far from ready. The rival faction that had attacked the ship before might return, and the humans below, he could feel their presence, even if they were outside. Zephyra entered silently, her flowing hair glinting in the soft glow. "You feel them," she said, her voice calm. "The humans. They are planning to act." Jace nodded. "I know. I can feel them. But I don't know if I should help them or fight them." Zephyra studied him carefully. "That is your choice. But remember, your power grows with every action you take. Hesitation weakens you. Do not be afraid to act." The ship shook suddenly. The rival alien fleet was back, attacking the perimeter with full force. Energy shields flared as the ship's hull was battered, sending vibrations through the corridors. Jace felt a thrill of fear and excitement. This was his chance to test everything he had learned. He leaped onto the platform, letting the energy surge through him. His body moved almost on instinct, dodging bursts of light from the intruding alien ships. With a focused gesture, he sent a wave of energy outward, disrupting their attacks and sending several enemy vessels tumbling away. Zephyra's eyes widened slightly. "Not in fear, but in acknowledgement. You are stronger than I imagined," she said quietly, "but strength without strategy is useless. Observe, think, then act." Jace glanced through the ship's translucent walls and saw the human forces below moving stealthily through the desert, using hovercrafts and terrain to avoid detection. He could sense their intentions, their fear, and their hope. His heart ached for them, even as he understood the impossible situation. If he acted, he might betray the humans or defy Zephyra. Then, an alarm blared in the ship. One of the rival alien vessels had managed to breach the lower defenses, entering the interior of the ship. Energy corridors flickered, and Jace could feel a surge of chaos ripple through the ship. Zephyra's expression hardened. "You must choose. Protect the ship, protect yourself, or intervene for the humans. Your decision will shape what comes next." Jace's chest throbbed with the pulse of power. He realized he could channel the energy to sense both friend and foe, predict movements, and manipulate the environment. He closed his eyes for a moment, letting the energy flow, and a plan formed in his mind. He moved quickly, using his enhanced speed to intercept the alien intruders in the corridors. Energy flared from his hands, forming shields and blasts that knocked the attackers back without killing them. Jace didn't want to become a murderer, even in this war. His movements were precise and controlled, each one carefully measured, just as Zephyra had taught him. Meanwhile, below, Rook and the humans had reached a narrow canyon that led directly beneath the alien ship. They prepared their tools and energy disruptors to try and disable part of the ship's hull. The young warriors glanced nervously at one another, but Rook's steady presence reminded them why they had survived so long in this harsh desert. Back inside the ship, Jace sensed their approach. He saw the shadows moving beneath him, recognized their signals, and realized they intended to rescue him. But acting too soon could alert the rival alien faction still outside. He had to be careful. Suddenly, the intruding aliens returned, attacking from another corridor. Jace met them head-on, using a combination of his powers and instinctive combat skills. He dodged, blocked, and countered with precision, feeling the energy pulse through him with every movement. His confidence grew with each success, but so did the weight of responsibility. He was no longer just a human warrior. He was something new, something hybrid. Zephyr appeared beside him, moving with a grace that belied her strength. "Do you see now?" she asked. "The humans below, the enemies around you, they are all tests. Your actions will decide not only your future, but the future of your people." Jace nodded. He understood. It wasn't just about fighting or fleeing. It was about leadership, strategy, and courage. He could no longer rely on instinct alone. The ship's main chamber shook violently. An enemy intruder had breached the core, threatening the power systems. Jace surged forward, energy flowing through his arms and legs, and redirected the attack, stabilizing the core. The room glowed with his power, and for a moment he felt unstoppable. But then he felt it. The humans below were in danger. One of the hovercrafts had been spotted by the rival aliens, and energy beams rained down upon them. Jace had to make a choice: stay with Zephyra and continue defending the ship, or intervene to help his people. He leapt into the main viewing window, letting his energy flow outward. The force disrupted the attackers' weapons and created a protective shield around the humans. Their surprise turned to awe as the youngest warrior, now glowing faintly with alien energy, saved them from certain destruction. Rook stared in disbelief. "Jace, you—" He didn't need words. He knew the boy had become more than any human could have imagined. Zephyr watched quietly, a faint smile on her lips. "You are learning faster than expected. You are not just human, nor just my student. You are something else entirely." The rival alien ships retreated again, their assault broken by Jace's unexpected display of power. Below, the humans regrouped, grateful and amazed, yet still wary. They had seen a new legend rising among them. The youngest human warrior, now capable of incredible feats, standing between survival and destruction. Jace turned to Zephyra, his chest still pounding. "I can do this. I can protect both sides. But I need to learn more. I need to understand." Zephyra nodded. "And you will. But remember this. Power is nothing without choice. You could destroy them all, including the humans, but that is not the way. Your strength lies in restraint, intelligence, and courage. These qualities are rarer than any ability." As the ship stabilized, Jace felt exhaustion creeping in, but also a fierce determination. He knew the humans below would not give up on him, and he could not give up on them. At the same time, he had to respect Zephyra's guidance and the power she had given him. The twin suns had almost set below the horizon, casting long shadows across the desert. Jace stood at the ship's viewing window, looking down at the tiny human warriors below, feeling the pulse of energy in his chest. Somewhere deep inside, the connection to Zephyra throbbed again, a reminder of the journey he had begun. And somewhere far away, the rival alien faction prepared for another attack. Jace knew that the next battle would be more dangerous, more challenging, and more revealing of the powers and choices he possessed. The young warrior was no longer just a boy from the desert. He was a legend in the making, the bridge between humans and aliens, and the key to a future that neither species could fully understand yet. The rebellion had begun, and Jace was at its center. The desert world below glowed faintly under the twin suns, now low on the horizon. From high above, Zephyra's alien ship loomed, a massive silhouette against the fading light. Inside, corridors hummed with energy, pulsing in rhythm with Jace's heartbeat. The young human warrior stood at the center of the ship, hands glowing with alien energy, every muscle tense, every nerve alive. He had trained, fought, and grown beyond what he could have imagined. But the final challenge awaited. The alarms blared suddenly, shaking the hull. Rival alien forces had regrouped and launched a full-scale assault. Their ships tore through the upper defenses, and energy blasts lit the corridors like lightning. Jace felt the pulse in his chest flare in response, almost overwhelming him. Yet this time, he did not hesitate. He was ready. Zephyra appeared at his side, calm as ever. "Remember what you have learned," she said. "Strength is nothing without choice. Do not let anger or fear control you. You can protect all. The choice is yours." Jace nodded. His thoughts were focused. The humans below, the aliens attacking, Zafira at his side, all of it converged into a single clarity. He could feel the flow of energy not only in himself but in the ship, in the air, in the world below. He was not alone. He was part of something larger. He leapt into action. The first wave of enemy soldiers approached the central chamber, moving with speed and precision. Jace's hands flared with energy as he met them head-on. Blasts of light struck his shields, but he moved faster than they could react, sending waves of force that knocked attackers back. Each movement was precise, controlled, yet fluid, as if the energy flowed through him rather than from him. Outside, the human warriors had positioned themselves along the canyon below. Rook and his team watched in awe as Jace's energy pulses disrupted the rival alien attacks, giving the humans the opening they needed. Hovercraft surged forward, firing their disruptors at the enemy vessels, coordinated perfectly with Jace's efforts. Zafira observed silently, her expression unreadable but her violet eyes glowing faintly. She had never seen a human adapt so quickly to alien energy, and yet she did not intervene. She had taught him, guided him, but now he had to make his own choices. Suddenly, a massive enemy ship breached the ship's inner defenses, sending a shockwave that rattled the entire structure. Jace surged forward, energy blazing around him, and slammed his hands into the floor. A wave of force spread out, stopping the ship from collapsing. Alien soldiers were thrown backward, some disarmed, some stunned. Jace realized he could manipulate the environment itself, walls, corridors, even the gravity around him. Below, the humans cheered silently, hidden behind cover, as they saw the impossible feat. Their youngest warrior, glowing with alien energy, was not only fighting but protecting them. Rook whispered, "He has become more than any of us could imagine. He is our bridge to the future." Inside the ship, Jace felt a tug, a strong pulse pulling him towards Zafira. He turned and saw her surrounded by her own soldiers, some of whom had begun to rebel against her authority, believing she had been too lenient with a human. The chaos threatened to destroy everything she had built. Without hesitation, Jace leapt across the chamber. Energy crackled around him as he created a protective shield around Zafira, deflecting blasts from her own mutinous soldiers. They charged, weapons raised, but Jace moved faster than they could comprehend, using force waves to push them back. One by one, the rebels fell, stunned but unharmed. Zafira's eyes widened slightly in surprise. "You are learning faster than I ever expected," she said quietly. "Perhaps you are more than I imagined." Jace turned back toward the main corridor, sensing another wave of intruders approaching. He had no time to rest. Energy surged from his hands as he formed barriers, redirected blasts, and cleared the path for the humans advancing below. Every choice he made had consequences. Every action mattered. He was no longer just fighting. He was leading, guiding, protecting. The final enemy ship, a massive war cruiser, entered the battlefield. Its energy cannon charged, a weapon capable of destroying the ship and everyone inside. Jace knew he had only seconds to act. He focused, letting the pulse inside him reach its peak. Energy flared, illuminating the corridors in the chamber bright as a small sun. With a concentrated push, he unleashed a massive wave of force, striking the cruiser. The ship shuddered, then exploded in a controlled detonation, sending shards of alien metal into space, harmlessly away from the main vessel. Below, the humans cheered openly. Hovercrafts returned safely, their pilots smiling in disbelief. Rook's eyes glistened with pride. "Jace, you've done the impossible." Jace turned to Zafira. She stood tall, her violet eyes reflecting the fading light of the twin suns. "You have chosen wisely," she said. "You did not destroy for the sake of power. You chose protection, restraint, and courage. That is true strength." The ship stabilized. The rival alien faction had retreated, their assault broken, their forces scattered. The humans below had survived, and Jace had proven himself not only as a warrior but as a leader and protector, capable of bridging two worlds. Zafira stepped closer to Jace, her hand resting lightly on his shoulder. "The connection between us, it is no longer one of control. It is one of respect. You are not mine, but an equal, a partner in what is to come." Jace nodded, understanding. The pulse in his chest had settled into a steady rhythm. It was still there, still powerful, but it was now harmony, not chaos. He had learned to control it, to use it wisely. He had survived battles, guided humans, fought aliens, and protected Zafira herself. He had become more than he ever dreamed. Outside, the twin suns set completely, painting the desert in shades of violet and gold. The alien ship hovered silently, a symbol of victory, cooperation, and a new beginning. Humans and aliens alike would remember this day. The day a young warrior united two worlds without destroying either. Zephyra's voice cut softly through the chamber. There are more worlds to see, more battles to face, more lessons to learn. But for now, you have earned your place. Jace looked down at the desert world, at the humans cheering in the canyon, and then back at Zephyra. "I'm ready," he said, ready for whatever comes next. The adventure was far from over, but one thing was certain. The youngest human warrior had become a legend. Not just a fighter, not just a student of alien power, but a bridge between species, a symbol of hope and a protector of life. As the stars began to twinkle above the twin suns, Jace and Zephyra stood side by side, warriors of two worlds, ready to face the unknown together. And somewhere deep inside, the pulse of energy that had once terrified him now whispered a promise that humanity, courage, and wisdom could survive even in the vast, dangerous cosmos. The story of Jace the alien princess and the humans who dared to fight against impossible odds had reached a climax, but the journey was only beginning.